Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. So when you buy a crop censored camera, you will normally get something called a kit lens. Now a kit lens is usually one of two things, an 18-55 or a 24-105 if you're a full frame. So I have done a video on this kind of lens before. It's the 18-55, but this one has a new motor. This is the 18-55 kit lens from Canon at an f3.5 to 5.6. And it's okay as a lens. It's not terribly bad, but it's not amazingly good. It's just slap bang in the middle, but that's really what you would expect for a kit lens. It is the basic lens that you will need. It has a nice amount of reach from 18-55mm, although as I said in my 700D review, if you were to put this lens on a full frame camera, it wouldn't be 18mm, it would be 28mm, which is still fairly decently wide. And it has a nice zoom range of 88mm on full frame. Now this lens isn't an EF lens, it is an EFS lens, which means that it will fit EFS mounts such as the 700D. It is designed for crop censored cameras, not full frame. So I can't use this lens on my 5D Mark II, which, well, to be fair, I wouldn't really want to. I have other lenses for the 5D Mark II if I wanted to use it. So it does have an aperture of f3.5 to 5.6, which is okay. You're not really going to get much good low light, but the good thing about it is you can get some nice depth of field on the lens itself because of compression, and you've also got at 3.5, it's okay. It's okay as an all-rounder lens, really. The main good thing about the 18-55 is the fact that it is a stabilized lens, so which means if you are doing handheld video, then it won't look all shaky and horrible. So another good thing about this lens is it is using Canon's STM focusing motor, which is perfect for continuous autofocus in video mode. So you can get some pretty decent-ish video in continuous autofocus. And at 18mm, 28mm equivalent, you can kind of vlog with this lens. If you are going to vlog with a crop censored body, I would recommend getting the 10-18mm, as it is a little bit wider and there's just more of the scene that's going on. I mean, this is about, what, 36mm, and it's pretty cropped in. I mean, I think I've got a nice depth of field in the background as well, so that's pretty good, because this is the 24-105. My favorite thing about this is the fact that it is just so wide, and the fact that its filter thread is 58mm, because it means that you can pick up a decent-ish filter and just put it on. They're really cheap. I think I've even paid about 10, maybe 15 pounds for a set of 4 from Newer, and they are okay. I'm thinking about doing a review on them. It's just, so that's the ND filter there. So yeah, you can pick the ND filters up very, very cheaply. The main things I don't really like about the 18-55mm kit lens is the fact that you don't always get this nice out of focus background. And if you do get the background, there is some chromatic aberration, which isn't really the best. And the build quality isn't on par with most other lenses, but to be fair, they are a cheap lens. You get really what you pay for, but I could forgive all that if it wasn't actually for the focus. The focus, I mean, this has, as I said, an STM focusing motor, which means it is purely electronic. Now, my 51.8 is the same motor, and I don't really like it. In video mode, they are perfect, and they are pretty good for focusing, but when you're in manual focus, if you want to take manual control, I mean, this isn't a tap. I can just move that. I mean, now I'm going to go out of focus, and I don't even know if I'm going to come back into focus, but you can see I'm turning my focus ring, and there's just more taptic feedback. So there we go, am I back in? There we go. There's just more taptic feedback on this lens than there is on this. This is just a spinning ring. Canon, come on. Really? Really? You're Canon. You've just come out with the R5 and the R6 and you can't even get a focusing motor right? So probably one of the good things about this lens is the fact that it can focus up to 0.25 meters and focus up to 8 feet. So that is pretty good. You can get kind of a macro-ish shot, and then if you've got the resolution there like I do with the 18 megapixels, you can then digitally zoom in and not lose much quality, so you get an even more reach. So you're probably thinking, well, how do I know the difference between an EF and an EFF? Well, it's quite simple. An EF mount will have a red dot on it, so just there. An EFS will obviously say EFS on the front, and it will also have a white dot, purely because they are designed to fit on a crop censored body, and on that crop censored body there will be a white dot, and you match the lenses up with the correct dot. Now, most crop censored bodies can take full frame lenses like this 51.8, but a full frame cannot take an EFS lens, a crop censored lens. They are not designed for the body. They just won't do it. They won't. Believe me, I even tried on an older camera. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.